Hello first year and welcome back to your fourth lesson on story writing or creative writing. So this lesson we're going to be talking about improving our writing. So when we look at the plan of things that we've done so far, you can see that we've done a little bit of getting to know each other in the first week, then we talked about story writing basics, and that was to do with laying out dialogue with the correct punctuation and also knowing when to take a new paragraph in your writing. And we've also talked about openers and settings. So we talked a little bit about showing rather than telling, and we talked a little bit about using the five senses and how important it is to have a really strong opening sentence in your writing. So today we're talking a little bit about improving our writing beyond that. So here's your starter task for today. So you can use the website to help you, and as always you're going to be copying out each of the following words 3 times. So we've got until, curious, and surprise. So once you've finished copying those words out, try and create a sentence using all 3 of the words. And your teacher might ask you to do this in your RUI and literacy jotter, or they might ask you to do it and post the sentence to a channel on your class team. So pause the video and do that now. Okay, on to the main lesson then. Just as a quick recap, as I say, these are all the things that we've talked about already over the course of the unit. So show, don't tell, using the 5 senses, correct dialogue layout, proper paragraphing, and today we're going to be talking about using wonderful words and having fantastic vocabulary. So if you didn't get a chance to do this last lesson, go back and to refresh your brain about settings and using the 5 senses, have a go at writing a short description of this setting using the 5 senses. If you did manage to do this last lesson, then you don't need to do it again, but if you didn't get onto it, pause the video and have a go at that now. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is talk about good vocabulary. So this is one of the last things that we're going to do to improve our writing, and we're going to be making use of a thesaurus for this activity. So the following table should have been added to your OneNote, and it's under class notes. If it's not under class notes, your teacher will let you know where to find it. And what you should do is use a thesaurus to help you come up with 3 other words that could be used instead of the words below. So they're nice, happy, sad, bad, and said. So you should try and look for at least 3 alternative words for each one. Pause the video and have a go at that just now in OneNote. Okay, so bringing it all together. Now we're going to try and bring everything together that we've learned in the unit so far in order to improve our writing. So we're going to be redrafting our Treasure Island stories that we wrote as part of the Primary 7 transition project. Now don't worry if you didn't get a chance to do this in Primary 7, we'll all be starting from a different point, and it's absolutely fine if you are starting it from scratch today. So if you have managed to do one during the Primary 7 transition project, you're going to reread your story, and then everybody is going to be issued with a checklist, and they're going to be able to look through the checklist to make sure they've incorporated all of the new creative writing techniques that we've learned so far. But first, we should take some time to remind ourselves what we had written about since it was so long ago. So we're all going to take a moment to look for our Primary 7 descriptive writing task on Treasure Island. If you did do it, then you should be able to find it by following these steps. So go to the S1 team, and it's called S1 Bertha Park 2020 to 2021. Then go to the channel called English, and it's English 060520. View the assignment called P7 English Transition Writing Task, and that is where your story should have been submitted if you did it. Take some time to read over your story and remind yourself what you had written. Pause the video and do that now. Okay, so in terms of redrafting, we're going to redraft our work. This means that you're either going to type the story again or make some changes in order to improve it, or perhaps you're going to start again from the beginning using the knowledge that we've come to gain over the course of the unit. So you'll be doing the following things: making sure that your opening sentence is exciting and memorable, changing the setting to make sure that you've used the 5 senses, making sure that any dialogue you've added is laid out in the correct way, and changing some of the words that you've used, or maybe replacing them with more interesting words using the thesaurus. So you'll be given time to start this redraft in class, and then your teacher may ask you to finish the rest at home for homework. Alright, on to some RUI. So here's our RUI timeline for the skills that we'll be building through this year. It might look slightly different depending on what your teacher has in mind. So in terms of using our own words, this is something that we had talked about last lesson. It's an understanding skill, and your teacher might want to pause the video and just go over some of these points with you about the 3 core skills of RUAE. So pause the video and talk about that just now if you need to. Alright, and here's a task that's been added to your OneNote. So it's a short paragraph about white storks, and then some space for you to include answers in your own words. So it says, the white stork is a large wader. They have a ruff on their chest composed of long feathers and used by the birds during courtship rituals. Its overall plumage is white, contrasting with black flight feathers and patches on their wings. The black coloration of their plumage is as a result of their unusual diet. They have black bands surrounding their eyes and blunt, nail-shaped claws. Males and females are similar in appearance, though females are somewhat smaller than males. Adult individuals have a long neck, red pointed bill, and long red legs. In addition, their feet are partially webbed. So in your OneNote you should see the table below. So there are some samples of sentences from the paragraph, and what you should do next to them is write the same information in your own words. So pause the video and try that now. And that's the end of today's lesson. So remember to ask your teacher about anything that you're not sure about, but beyond that, well done everybody, we'll see you next time.